If you've ever thought about moving to Europe and raising a family, chances are you went immediately to the obvious choices. London, Barcelona, Amsterdam, great cities, but brutally expensive, overcrowded, and in many cases not completely safe. The problem is, at first glance, these hotspots might seem like your only options. But over Easter, a recent conversation with a friend, a well-known author, got me thinking about this topic. He just moved his family from Lisbon to Genoa, and that caught me completely by surprise. When I asked him why, his reasoning was excellent. I couldn't fault it. That conversation sent me down a rabbit hole. After a lot of research and asking many of friends with families for their honest takes, I put together a list of 7 of the most underrated cities in Europe where real families are raising their kids and actually enjoying life while doing it. In this video, I'll break down the criteria I looked at for each city, the honest downsides nobody mentions, and why a few of these places quietly punch way above their weight. Let's get into it. Before we get to the cities, let me tell you what I actually looked at. Because most of best cities for families lists are vibe-based, someone visited over a weekend, ate well, and put it on a list. That's not what this is. I assessed each of these cities against 7 specific criteria, the things that actually shape your life when you're raising kids somewhere. Safety and walkability. Can your 10-year-old walk to school? Can you let them play in the square without watching like an hawk? This is non-negotiable when you have kids, and it eliminates a lot of cities people romanticize. International schools, the quality, the curriculum, and the real cost, not the brochure cost. Because there is a massive difference between a city with 1 mediocre international school at 20k a year and a city with 4 serious options at 8k. Healthcare. Specifically pediatric, not just good hospitals, because the moment your child needs a specialist, suddenly the difference between a regional referral center and a generic public hospital matters enormously. Monthly budget for a family of 4, real numbers, rent on a 3-bedroom, groceries, schools, healthcare, the full picture. Parental leave and childcare support, because European countries vary a lot here, and the difference between 19 weeks at full salary and 4 weeks at 60% can change your entire first year as a family. Outdoor life. Beach access, mountain access, green space inside the city, because kids need to run and you need somewhere to escape to on weekends that doesn't require a flight. And finally, the honest downsides, because every city on this list has them. Bureaucracy, weather, language barriers, over-tourism. Now, starting with one of my favorites. A lot of people consider it, but somehow not enough people actually talk about it. You get the same beach as Barcelona, the same weather, better paella. Actually, this is literally where it was invented, all at a fraction of the price. A 3-bedroom here runs 1,200 to 1,800 a month, which is not the case for Barcelona. The city of arts and sciences sits right next to the Turin Gardens, 9 kilometers of parkland built on a former riverbed. It's also one of the safest cities in Spain, safer than Barcelona, safer than Madrid. Schools are serious at every level. American school, British school, Caxton College, Cambridge House. And Spain just expanded parental leave to 19 weeks per parent at 100% salary. One of the best policies in Europe. But the downsides, Spanish bureaucracy is real. You'll need Spanish, English doesn't get you far outside tourist areas, and rent is climbing 6 to 8% yearly. So Valencia is probably 3 to 5 years behind Barcelona on the over-tourism curve. But for a Mediterranean city with this safety, this infrastructure, and this lifestyle at half Barcelona's price, Valencia is the single easiest no-brainer play in this list. Next up, now Bordeaux surprised me when I started looking at it through a family lens. Wine capital of the world, UNESCO World Heritage City, Atlantic surf, and a TGV that puts you in Paris in 2 hours. You can live the French life without the Parisian stress, and rent is roughly 40% less. Schools are also strong here, but what most people miss is that the public international sections at schools like Lycée Magendie offer bilingual French baccalaureate education for 0 tuition. So effectively free IB quality education if your kid's French is up to it. And then there is healthcare. Hôpital Pellegrin Enfants is 225-bed children's hospital doing 15,000 pediatric surgeries a year, serving 60 6 million people across the region. That alone makes Bordeaux a legitimate pick for families. France also has some of the best family benefits in the world. From 2026, each parent gets 2 extra months of paid leave on top of the standard maternity and paternity. Weekends look amazing here too. Atlantic beaches, 45 minutes, Basque Country, 2 hours, Spain, 2 hours, access to every type of trip. But to fully integrate here, you need French, non-negotiable. Winters are rainy, and French bureaucracy is, well, legendary. But if you can handle that, Bordeaux might be the coolest family city nobody is talking about. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Alessandro. I build ventures across the UAE, Europe and Asia, and through my company, Citizenship, I help people build sovereign lives, the right residency, the right tax framework, the right structure for how they actually want to live. This channel is where I share all of that. If you're thinking about a move with a family or without, hit subscribe. In the coming weeks, I'll be sharing deep dives on the specific residency and tax strategies that makes these cities even more compelling. Now, let's keep going. Turin is genuinely underrated. 1 hour from Milan by high-speed train and you have a completely different city. You probably don't know this, but Turin is the real food capital of Italy. The slow food movement was born here. Fiat, Lavazza, Nutella, all Turin. And the city has more green space than any other in Italy. 50 parks, 320 kilometers of tree-lined avenues. Schools are surprisingly strong for how affordable this city is. 4 solid international options, including the International School of Turin. Meanwhile, rent on a 3-bedroom is 800 to 1,100 a month. You almost never see that combination, this level of education infrastructure at this price point. For healthcare, you have Ospedale Infantile Regina Margherita, one of Italy's oldest and largest pediatric hospital. And Italy's family support is solid. The assegno unico gives up to €175 per month per child. Parental leave extended to 14 months in 2026. The lifestyle rhythm is what sells Turin for me. Saturday morning, you are at the farmer's market with some of the best produce in Europe. Sunday, you are skiing with the kids just 90 minutes away. But Po Valley winters are cold, damp and grey. The fog is real and Italian bureaucracy obviously applies. If you can get through that for a city with the Alps right there, some of the best food in Italy and rent under €1,000, Turin is the gritty, cool Italian pick nobody is making. Next is Greece's second city, Mediterranean climate, arguably the best food scene in Greece. Everyone looks at the islands or Athens. Thessaloniki is the family play nobody is making. Schools are solid. A brand new SNF University Pediatric Hospital is opening. For a city at this price point, that's incredible. Greek family benefits are decent too. 17 weeks maternity, 4 months parental leave with the first 2 paid. And the weekend access is unbeatable. Alkidiki beaches, 45 minutes, Mount Olympus 90 minutes, Meteora 3 hours, optimal Greek lifestyle. But there are challenges. It's Europe, so bureaucracy is a factor. Greece is paper heavy and slow. The language barrier is also very real for anything administrative. And there won't be much local earning potential here. But for a city with the epitome of Mediterranean lifestyle, Thessaloniki deserves to be in every conversation. This is the easy pick. And honestly, for many people, probably the winning choice. Picasso's birthplace, 320 days of sunshine a year, all the benefits of the Costa del Sol without the tourist kitsch. What's quite unique here is that over 630 tech companies have opened offices here, including Google. So it's becoming quite the tech hub in Spain. The beach is right there and tapas is still affordable. Your partner works from a co-working space with sea views. Your kids are the beach by 4 p.m. That's Malaga. Schools cover every level. British School of Malaga, Nova School Sunland International, and Soto Grande International with a full IB pathway. Healthcare is strong across the board. Hospital Quirónsalud Malaga ranks in Spain's top 20. The Costa del Sol Children's Hospital is award-winning. Same Spanish parental leaves applies here, and all of this in one of Spain's safest cities. The access is also incredible. Granada 90 minutes, Seville 2 hours, Gibraltar 90 minutes, Tangier by ferry, and Malaga airport is one of the best connected in Europe. The honest picture, though, over-tourism is becoming a real issue and locals are frustrated. The digital nomad influx is pushing rents up fast, but overall, it's safe, sunny, and affordable. Malaga is no longer a secret, so move before it does. And by the way, I write about all these topics every week on my Substack, deep dives on relocation strategy, tax frameworks, and building a life abroad. The kind of detail I can't fit into a single video. If you subscribe, you'll also get the ultimate guide to citizenship and residency programs in 2026. Every active program globally, current investment thresholds, real processing timelines, and the strategic combinations that actually work in practice. Link is in the description. Now, for the final two cities. This one is the wildcard, and let me tell you why in one word. Trilingual. Your kids don't just learn a second language, they grow up thinking in three. Italian at home, German at school, or vice versa, English as a third. That's the default, the public system. Bolzano sits in South Tyrol, official bilingual, Italian and German. Surrounded by the Dolomites, it operates as an autonomous province with its own budget. Italy without the chaos. And actually, it works. South Tyrol is Italy's wealthiest province. Infrastructure functions, buses run on time, healthcare is excellent and efficient. If you've ever said, I love Italy, but I wish things actually worked, this is your city. But there are trade-offs. Cost is higher than the rest of Italy because of the alpine premium. You will also need both Italian and German to fully integrate, and remember, the culture is more Austrian than Italian. If you want la dolce vita, look south. But for an alpine city where your kids grow up trilingual by default, the Dolomites are outside your window, and the infrastructure actually functions, well, nothing else in Europe compares. That's why it's the wild card. Now, this brings us back to where the video started. The friend who moved his family from Lisbon to Genoa, the final city on the list. When I asked him why, he gave me 4 reasons. The food, the port energy, the proximity to France, and one of the best pediatric hospitals in Europe. The city itself is unusual, a Mediterranean port city with real character, incredible pesto and focaccia culture, the French Riviera 2 hours away. It's not polished, it's not touristy, it's just deeply, authentically Italian. The International School of Genoa runs IB Continuum from ages 2 to 17. The first IB Continuum school in Liguria with French, Spanish, Mandarin and German on top of English and Italian. But here is the reason this city actually matters for families. Istituto Gaslini, one of Europe's best pediatric hospital, JCI certified. The only Italian hospital with a Da Vinci Robotics Surgery Center. If you have kids, that alone could put Genoa on the map. And the weekend access is Mediterranean at its best. Portofino, 30 minutes. Cinque Terre and Milan, 90 minutes. Nice, 2.5 hours. The challenges here, traffic and parking are painful because of the steep, narrow streets. Limited direct international flights, so you'll connect through Rome or Milan for long haul. And English will be limited in daily life. But for a Mediterranean port city with one of Europe's best pediatric hospitals, an IB school, the Riviera next door, and a cost of living well below Rome or Milan, Genoa is the peak insiders are making, my friend included. Now that you have the list, I have 3 rules for relocating, and this is especially important with a family. 1. Visit in winter with your kids. If the city works in February, it will work all year. The Instagram reel was shot in June. February is the real test. 2. Talk to parents already there. Not bloggers, not influencers, actual parents living the life you're considering. Usually Facebook groups, school WhatsApp chats, that's where the truth will be. 3. Do the actual math. Run your monthly budget with real rent prices, real school fees, real healthcare costs. The Instagram reel doesn't show you the 1,800 a month 3-bedroom or the 15,000 a year school fees. The best cities for raising a family aren't trending. They are not on anyone's algorithm, they are just underratedly excellent. And most families, they'll go back to planning a 2-week holiday to the same overcrowded spots. But few will start planning something a little more unique. If this was useful, hit subscribe. I break down relocation strategies, tax frameworks, and sovereign living every week. Drop a comment, tell me which city speaks to you, or tell me any that I missed. Thanks for watching, and ciao for now.